moving into our last and fourth primal is our legs, which is the back part of the lamb. Right now what we're showcasing for you right now is what we would call a hangback leg. These are when both legs are actually still together. Like I said, not having a bandsaw today, we already pre-cut them for you. What you would want to do after you have the hangback legs is take them and run them through a bandsaw, creating 2 individual whole legs. After you have the 2 individual whole legs, you can actually break them down into multiple different parts. What we've done on our bandsaw already is created our sirloin steaks. You also get bone-in leg steaks. And then from the base of the leg, you're getting your hind shank. You can also take your hind shank and process it further if you have a bandsaw, and cutting it into whether you want osso buco. So we have 2-inch, 1.5-inch cut osso bucos. Or if you prefer a volcano shank and removing the top part of the shank, you can actually create a volcano shank, which may be more plate presentation friendly for you. Most volcano shanks range in that 18 to 22 ounce range. One of the byproducts after you've done your sirloin steaks, leg steaks, and the shanks is you will have a little bit of trim left where you can actually utilize that for your stew meat, or like I said, if you're making a grind for your burgers or sliders. Next, what we're going to do is show you how to debone a leg. What we're doing right now is actually removing the tailbone, which is the tail of the lamb that runs up into the leg. We're removing all the fat and trim.
Leg
flank. The leg flank meat, which will come out. This is also a very tender cut of meat. It's really good for stir fries if you're having a stir fry dish or just want to grill up some meat for a sandwich. Flank meat in general tends to be really tender when you grill it up just right. When you're ordering legs, there's different style legs you can order, from shortcut bone-in to semi-boneless to a complete boneless. We're going to actually process this leg all the way down into a boneless. What we're doing right now is removing what's called the H-bone from the leg. All of our meat cutting done in our facility is done by hand to ensuring we're getting the best yields for our end users. Nothing is done by a machine for cutting. Definitely takes a skill and a science to deboning a leg. After you remove the H-bone, we're actually going to remove the top part of the leg, which is actually where your sirloin is, leaving you 2 different cuts. So you have your sirloin portion and what we would call, maybe in a retail cut, this would be your shortcut leg, semi-boneless. There's tenders, and we also have a sirloin. The center cut of the sirloin is actually the most tender part of the leg. We sell a cut we call denuded hip sirloin steak, which is actually really good for grilling, filleting out, putting like a whiskey bourbon sauce on it maybe, or using it for sandwiches or stir fries. These are sirloin steaks, boneless. We're actually removing a little bit of the fat to make sure we have that 1/8 trim on there for you. A little something different to offer on your menu besides your basic rack sirloin chops is always a lamb leg steak. Now we're actually going to take the rest of our leg. We're going to remove that hind shank. So there's your hind shank, and like I said, you can break that down even further into a volcano or your osso buco cuts, or we can do that for you as well. Now that you've had your hind shank removed, we're going to create the final product, which is the boneless leg. But our boneless legs come netted and tied. Boneless legs, of course, a very traditional seasonal item, highly driven around Christmas time or Easter, but also great year-round for other implications. If you're a chef that's wanting to take full price advantage of legs and you can utilize a leg somehow on your menu, the best time to take advantage of legs pricing is in the summer. Summertime, legs are not in high demand and you can really utilize that leg for different entrees, slow cooking it for pulled leg of lamb, something like that. We have an inside round roast right here we just created. Great for grilling and slicing up really thin. Can create steaks, fillets, fajitas. So what we have right now is a half a leg roast. If you're wanting smaller portions to serve versus a full leg. And that concludes how to break down a full American lamb carcass. We hope that you've taken away today some great points on how to maybe possibly order cuts of the lamb that you typically wouldn't from a primal, and maybe cutting some items out of it yourself and utilizing that cut to its full advantage to actually benefit your plate cost and be more profitable in your restaurant.